Hello again. Okay, here we are. And starting where we were at the end of the last video, this picture of Rama and Sita after their wedding. And we'll talk a little bit about the story in this video. The story begins in the city of Ayodhya, which, as I said in my notes, literally means city without conflict. And this is a painting, an ancient painting of the city, a thriving city. And we can see the life of the city behind the walls with the temples. And here is the ruler Dasaratha, is the king of Ayodhya, which means the father of 10 chariots. But he has no children and he's getting old. He wants an heir. He wants to leave a legacy. So he performs a sacrifice, and in return, he's given a boon, good fortune of many children. He has 6 wives, and they all give birth after he performs what is called the horse sacrifice. His first wife, Kausalya, gives birth to Rama, and he is the hero of the story. But interestingly, his second wife gives birth to Bharata, who will be a rival to Rama, and with his mother's connivings and his father's commitment to a vow, Rama is sort of undermined by Bharata. But we'll talk about that more later. The as we learn in the prologue, Rama is an avatar of the god. And let me show you the 3 most important gods in the Hindu pantheon. The first being Brahma, the creator god. Here's a picture of him. And Brahma and Shiva and Vishnu form the Hindu trinity, but we can also see them as 3 faces or aspects of one god. There are actually 33 million gods and goddesses, or faces of the divine, in the Hindu tradition. So, just to give you some context. But Brahma is the creative aspect of the divine. Shiva is the destructive aspect, the destroyer. When Rama goes to meet King Janaka, king who is the father of Sita, he has a bow that was a gift from Shiva. And this is the bow that Rama strings to win Sita's hand in marriage. But here's a picture of the god Shiva. And here is Vishnu, the preserver. So we have this idea that there is a kind of creative aspect, a destructive aspect, and a preserving aspect. Vishnu represents the preserving aspect of the divine, a kind of cycle. And Rama is one of Vishnu's many avatars, right? Vishnu takes different forms. He incarnates at different times, different eras. In order to establish what I've termed dharma, right? Or to fulfill dharma, a kind of harmony or balance, order, law, duty, for the good of all creatures, not just for human beings, but for all living creatures. So, according to Hindu mythology, Vishnu incarnates himself to preserve dharma whenever it is threatened or disrupted by forces of evil or demons. The word for demons in Sanskrit is asuras. Okay. And here we also have a picture of Lakshmi, the mother goddess. And as you know, Rama will, when he visits Tanaka, he falls in love with Sita, and he strings Shiva's bow, making himself worthy of Sita's love. But Sita herself is an avatar of Lakshmi. So in the divine realm, both Vishnu and Lakshmi are married. But now we have a story in which Vishnu takes the form of Rama. Rama is not aware that he is an avatar of Vishnu. Rama thinks he's human. And he meets Sita for the first time, but it's sort of fascinating. Sita herself is a kind of avatar of Lakshmi. So we have this interesting sort of couple, Vishnu, Lakshmi, kind of reincarnated as Rama and Sita. Okay, here's some images of the story. We have, this is the scene in which Rama's brother, Lakshmana, right, and the sage Viswamitra are kind of going on their journey. Rama has to become educated after he's born, right? The sage comes and takes him under his wing and tells him stories, and Rama sort of proves himself. Rama demonstrates his virtue, his courage, his wisdom, but he learns from the sage. But here's a kind of ancient painting or a medieval painting of that scene from the story. And then here's another painting of this scene where King Janaka welcomes Rama after he has spent his time with the sage. He goes and meets the king, and the king introduces him to Sita, or he encounters Sita while he's visiting the king. And then they get married after Rama strings the bow. And so here's an image of Rama's father, Dasarata, King Dasarata, riding to the wedding of Rama and Sita. Now, as I suggested, Kaikeyi, right, Dasarata's second wife, she forces him to uphold a promise that he made to her. And being a man of Dharma, being a dutiful king, he keeps his promise to his second wife. But her wish is that Rama and Sita be banished so that her son Bharata can become the heir to the crown. And so this is the scene where Dasarata has agreed to uphold Kaikeyi's, to grant Kaikeyi's wish. And so Kaikeyi is now removing ornaments from Sita after she's been married to Rama. She thinks that Rama and she will become king and queen, but here Kaikeyi is taking away her jewels, the sign of her authority to become the princess. And right after this scene, they will both be banished. Both Sita and Rama will be banished into the forest. So here's the scene where King Dasarata is sending his son Rama and his new wife Sita into exile. They'll get on that carriage and go out into the forest. Here's an interesting painting of exile in the forest. That's Rama and Sita and Lakshmana. His brother goes with him. And this is the famous scene where the deer, the golden deer, is sent to sort of lure Rama away. And this is the moment at which the demon king Ravana, who Vishnu has gone to, he has incarnated himself as Rama in order to destroy the demon king Ravana. And this is the scene where he lures Rama away with the golden deer. So that's Rama is always depicted as having blue skin. This is the palace of Ravana, where once he abducts Sita, he brings her to this palace. And you can see up here that he has 10 heads. The story of Ravana is that he did penance and devotion to Brahma, and in return Brahma made him a boon, made him invincible, or granted his wish of invincibility. But meaning the gods cannot destroy him and other demons cannot destroy him, but humans are not part of the boon, or not part of his invincibility, right? He is vulnerable to humans, and so this is why Vishnu has to take the form of a human so that he can destroy Ravana. Okay. Later parts of the story, you'll meet Vali, the Monkey King, and that's an interesting scene in chapter 6 where Rama kills Vali. I won't say much more, but it's an important moment. And this is a scene in which Vali is dying after Rama has killed him with his arrow. And Sugriva, Vali's brother, now becomes the king and becomes an ally to Rama, and sort of, now Sugriva will help Rama and Lakshmana fight against the demon king Ravana. So the monkey king Sugriva agrees to kind of form an alliance with Rama. But the first step is killing Vali, who was a beloved, strong king. So it's an interesting question, like why does Vali have to die? Why does Rama kill him? Okay, but this sets up the grand battle between Rama and Ravana, which happens toward the end. And this is a picture of Rama riding alongside or sort of fighting with Hanuman, his monkey warrior friend, right, his most loyal warrior. And that's Ravana depicted here with all the 10 heads. And this is another monkey warrior fighting one of Ravana's soldiers here. In other cultures, Ravana is actually considered a good king. For example, in Sri Lanka, there are traditions in Sri Lanka where Ravana is revered. In different parts of India as well. So it depends where you are in India. Ravana is not always considered evil. But this is a sculpture of the 10-headed king, Ravana, who, if you watch some of the videos I share with you, is himself a kind of a gatekeeper to Vishnu. It's an interesting story how he ends up becoming a demon. Okay, I'm going to end with some images of stone sculptures. Here's a stone sculpture of Rama and Hanuman to the left. And here in the center, we have an ancient stone sculpture of Gilgamesh with his lion. And over here, we have a Roman copy of a Greek sculpture of Odysseus, here as supplicant, right? He is traveling from place to place, and he always has to supplicate himself, ask for help. So this is Odysseus in a supplicating gesture. And finally, we have a picture of a sculpture of the happy couple, Rama and Sita, I think riding a chariot on their wedding day. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the pictures, and I hope some of my remarks help you think about this story. That's all for now.